Yeehaw!
The NRHA Futurity is considered the Super Bowl of reining. But once it ends, next year's competition begins. I've got 1 year to train and pick 3 horses.
Matt Mills has 1 year to pick 3 horses out of the top 5 contenders in his barn.
This is the road to the Futurity.
Today marks the first day of the Futurity training season. With less than 1 year until competition, Matt has his work cut out for him. Spinning, slide stopping, lead changes, all must be mastered in this time. Today, Partner and Carmine begin their journey. This is day 1 of the road to the Futurity.
All right, so this is going to be a lot of fun for you, stressful for me. The road to the Futurity has so many different variables to it. I've got to narrow down to 3 horses to go to Oklahoma. That's all they'll let you ride. I've got 5 prospects right now. I have about a year to decide on which 3 I'm going to take, but it's really not a full year because the pre-Futurity season starts in July. And there'll be about 3 or 4 of those, and we've got to have them ready enough to go out and test and see where they're at. I mean, not very often will it happen, like last year with that colt rooster that you've heard me talk about, never been shown, shows up and goes to Futurity. But if you had seen him all year, you would have felt real good about taking him as well. And that's what we're gonna do here is I'm gonna show you the whole process. Let me introduce the contenders for this year's NRHA Futurity. Right now I've got 5 horses that I think are enough, and you never know along the way, I may end up getting more, I don't know. Only time will tell, I don't have a crystal ball. But I know one thing, I've got to get down to 3 at the end. You know, off the top, Carmine is the white Cremello Perlino. I'm not exactly sure what color he is. It's a unique color, but he's a stallion that is by a horse named Freckles Got a Shiner, and he's out of a Smart Chickalina bred mare on the bottom. Nothing spectacular on the dam side. The sire, though, that was my first level 4 NRHA Open Futurity finalist. That horse has a special spot in my heart because he was so good for me. That first Futurity finalist, he went on and did really well in a lot of other events. And Carmine is the oldest full crop by that horse. This guy is going to be a little bit of a wild card, and I say that because I didn't have him his 2-year-old year.
Carmine came into Matt's program with a giant question mark. With what some would call a sour disposition, it's very unclear as to how he will act.
So Carmine's personality is a strong one, which is pretty common for big-time level 4 horses. They're kind of, like type A personality basically with people.
Carmine is a very strong-willed horse. When he arrived and began training with Matt, he was literally trying to kick people's heads off.
He can do it, but it kind of needs to be on his terms, and that's where I've kind of got to get that all ironed out through the year, that, make sure that when I ask him to do something, he does it.
But shortly after starting his training, something incredible happened. He showed his ability.
That's darn near show ready. Maneuver-wise, he's incredible. He can spin, stop, change leads, can do it all. Just at times, the testosterone, I think, kind of kicks in, and if he has a few days off here or there, he kind of wants to get a little pushy. And again, that's a spot there where I want to just step on the gas, but then I got to remember, wait a minute, that's pretty darn good on a 3-year-old in January. Let's build for the long haul. I don't need to win the month of January. This is pretty darn good right here. Lean out, steer in. And this is awesome because the last few days, He's giving me a run for my money. I told you he's a wild card. He's kind of be your bad boy pick if there's one. He looks awesome, but he's definitely not gonna just lay down and say, okay, I'll do everything you want right now. He's gonna ask me some questions. Whoa. Wow. Awful good. Awful good. Real happy with him.
So far out of the 5, Carmine is looking great, but it's still a full training day here at Ruckman Ranch, and the next horse on the board is Partner.
Partner, he is a black Gunnatrasha out of a Shining Spark mare that's out of Hickory's Holly C. Really well bred on the bottom side. Actually, Hickory's Holly C was a cow horse. She did reining as well, but I believe she was reserve champion at the NRHA Futurity.
Having some cow horse in his blood can definitely be a big advantage if his natural ability can be honed and any issues overcome. Partner has been with Matt since he was a baby. Matt has been his only trainer, and the two know each other very well. But in less than a year, they are taking a step into a whole other level together. There's a lot to be done in that time, and there's no telling what can happen along the way.
Stop. Stop. In reining, we use the phrase willingly guided. The connection between horse and rider becomes so deep in your blood, it becomes a part of your DNA. No perfect ride, but you can master it for moments. And that's why we do it.
And now, back to the road to the Futurity. Matt has to pick 3 horses for the Futurity, and the horse you're looking at is a very serious contender. One that has been with Matt and his owners since he was a baby.
We got him when he was a weanling. Was a cute little guy, and saw him there at Oswood Stallion Station, Mark and Janice Dixon, and Janice actually picked him out. Janice was like, I gotta have that horse. She's like, I don't really know if he's gonna be any good or not. I don't really know much about his pedigree, but he's coming home with us.
Matt has had some issues with Partner, still being a young stud. One minute he's perfect, and the next, not so much.
He's coming out focused and he starts getting fresh active. I like to take mental notes of where that horse is at, what he's doing, and how I should respond. I want to try to keep emotion out of it. Like, either he's fresh right there, or I'm kind of, I'm binding him up a little and he doesn't like it and he just wants to leave. Whatever reason, he's leaving. As a 2-year-old, he was the standout. He never had a bad day. Everything we wanted to do, he was up for it. There wasn't any issues with him being a stallion, no testosterone, him being studdy, what we call it. Totally fine. Towards the end of his 2-year-old year, he started to change a little. I think somebody told him about the birds and the bees, and he's got a little edge to him. But again, you got to have that edge to go out and be a top-end open horse. So it's a matter if we can get that under control.
Head down, relaxed. This is exactly what Matt is looking for right now. And after showing this horse the easier path, Partner seems to be falling in line beautifully.
Well, I tell you right now, if you were having to pick the top 3, I'd say this one's, based on today, he's making a strong case for himself to be in that top 3. just by being so agreeable.
During a training session, like this one with partner, Matt works on very specific maneuvers, including circles, stops, and spins. One of the most important things for these young horses to learn is cadence in the spin, and it requires an experienced horseman with the right techniques.
So you see, when I initiate that shoulder movement, he moves, but as soon as I put my hands down, he's looking for help, so he stops. Come back in, it's pretty simple. When he does, I put pressure on him. When he's good, I leave him alone. Now there, he thought about it, but then he kept going, so I did nothing. And I know he's wandering all over the arena. We'll address that at another time. Oh, that's better there. When I snuck in there and I bridled him a little bit, used my leg, changed the position, and I put my hands back down, he continued to spin. That's what we're after. That's what we're trying to build into him, is that, you know, even when I'm, when I pick my hand up and I change frame, all those things that we're gonna do later on, keep your feet moving. So then when I'm showing, if I move my hand too fast or too slow, or when I go to shut off or whatever, he's just so confident that he just keeps rolling, keeps stepping. Really, really solid horse, good conformation. It's got everything there that you would think you would need to be successful. And again, it just comes down to, are we gonna be able to get there in this short amount of time?
Today, Partner and Carmine both look like they have a chance at the Futurity, but they've still got the year ahead of them, and it's not going to be an easy road. On the next, the road to the Futurity.
I don't know if you saw Curry ride today, but he's been giving me a little bit of trouble because he's been off for that 90 days.
Yeah.
It's time to meet the rest of the contenders.
It's almost like she's craving getting into that spin. These horses are young and they're not finished.
Are you sure they're gonna be ready? Hi, I'm Matt Mills, and I am so excited to share with you this new video series that we just finished, all on NRHA reining patterns. We start with a walkthrough. Today I'm gonna walk you through pattern 6, and then we show you how to actually prepare for each pattern. Everyone's actually read the patterns in the NRHA handbook. We're actually gonna show you visually where you should be going slow so you really understand what it is that the judges are looking for. And the other nice thing is, any subscribers to my training video page get a significant discount. So go to mattmillsreining.com and I'll help take you to the winner's circle.